to talk.
You want to talk?
You're listening to Black Fawn Distro's Takeover Tuesday, the official podcast of Black Fawn Distribution, broadcasting live across the planet and retransmitted on all major streaming platforms. Tonight's program is brought to you in part by Wellington Brewery's Hellas Lager, Deadly Grounds Coffee, Twisted Teas, and of course Canada's #1 genre film company, Black Fawn Distribution. You wanted the best. Well, they didn't make it, so here's what you get.
It's really not that bad.
You are going to hell.
Here's your host, Benner from Black Fawn Distro.
All right. Welcome back to another edition of Black Fawn Distro's Takeover Tuesday. I'm your host, Benner, of course, and happy February 1st to everyone out there, wherever you are. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're staying safe. And you know what? Hope you're just chilling. Obviously things are kind of coming back online right now, and that's really cool. And hopefully we can get back to normal fairly soon. But obviously, we just want to make sure that everyone's doing cool out there and in a good spot. So thanks for tuning in again. We really do appreciate it. Of course, we're broadcasting live to Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, and of course, YouTube. And we are retransmitting, on all of the major streaming platforms for including Apple Podcasts and anywhere else where you pick up your favorite podcasts. Listen, if you can grab us wherever you can, we really do appreciate it. And of course, if you do feel like leaving us a review, if you do feel like going the extra mile, please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. It actually does help out the show, and we would certainly appreciate it for sure. And of course, that also helps us reach a whole bunch of new people and as many people as possible. And that doesn't just help us, but it also helps out all of our cool guests that we have and the super cool projects that they're a part of as well. Of course, quick shout out to our sponsors, Wellington Brewery's Hellas Lager, Deadly Grounds Coffee, and Twisted Teas. These are all small businesses that have supported Black Fawn Distro in the past, and we have no problem. We appreciate the opportunity to throw some support back behind them as well. So check them out if you can. Just Google them, look them up on Instagram, give them a follow, check out what they're doing, and we can hopefully get behind some small businesses and give them a hand wherever we can. So anyway, listen, we've got a great program for you tonight. The fantastic Ali Chappell is here in the studio right now, and she's currently in the green room. She's giving me the thumbs up, the devil horns. She's ready to go. We've got an awesome program. We've got lots of great questions. And of course, if you've got questions for Ali, please leave them down below in the comments section below, wherever you're tuning in, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch, and we will get to your questions. We'll get some answers for you throughout the hour, and we'll throw them up on the screen when we can. So now, we're really pumped for this episode. Myself and Ali, we've known each other for a long time. We've been trying to hook this up for a little while, and it's finally, the nexus of the universe has happened. We're both here. We're really, really stoked to do it. And of course, there's lots of stuff to get to, and we will get to that just after this. But listen, anyone who's tuned in to the show, the last 6-7 episodes, knows the drill. We've got a bunch of fun stuff planned, but first we got to hit the news.
Top story. Top story.
We'll give you the world. We'll give you the world.
This may be the most important decision of your life.
Can't stand the heat. Stay out of the kitchen.
Any special message for all the kids watching at home?
We can't stand the heat. Stay out of the kitchen.
Top story.
And remember, we care. We care.
There are certain inherent risks that come with the territory.
Top story. Top story.
We'll give you the world.
Top story.
Okay, welcome back to another edition of the news. Of course, I've put on the suit jacket. I've got the tie on. I've got the Black Fawn Distro toucan here because we're in Canada and it is freaking cold outside. But listen, we need to jump right into some top story news. Top story tonight. things are open again. That's amazing in Ontario. That means including movie theaters. So yours truly actually went to the movie theater last night. I got myself a big ass bag of popcorn. I got myself a giant fountain drink, and I checked out, you guessed it, the new Scream movie, Scream 5, also known as just Scream, I guess. Amazing, cool, rad time at the movies. Listen, what I did in January, because I couldn't really go anywhere, is I watched all the Scream movies, 1, 2, 3, 4, and now I've seen 5. Really fun time kind of going out. The theater was actually pretty busy on a Monday night, which is great to see. Support your local cinema. And that is the one thing that we can do. If you're a film fan, if you love movies, no matter if it's your local theater or wherever, try and support them. They are just getting back on their feet like a lot of people out there. And guess what? Going to the movies is still super fun, and we should all be doing it. And my thing with Scream is I think I'm probably going to do some sort of program. We might have some of our past guests on just to discuss the entire series as well. It would be great to kind of get everyone's take on where Scream started, where it went, and kind of where it's going right now. But very cool movie. If you like the Scream franchise, they really have done Wes Craven a really nice, fitting new entry, I guess, to his series that he started all the way back in the 90s. So definitely worth a check out if you're a horror film fan. And speaking of horror films, let's jump into the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This isn't the Texas Chainsaw Massacre from the 70s. It is just Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So they've left off the, but it's the new Netflix trailer that just dropped online. Check it out if you can. It is causing a lot of controversy. People have got some opinions on this, and we're going to talk about this a little bit later on, but I'm a massive fan, as listeners of the show that if you've tuned in before, I love Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original. I do like the sequels as well, but I really, really do love the original, and this is a direct sequel, but a lot of people out there are saying this kind of feels like the Blumhouse Halloween. It's almost like it's got a lot of similarities to it. And so listen, if you got a comment about the if you've got a comment about Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the new Netflix movie, new Netflix sequel to the original, please drop it in the comments. Let's talk about it, and we'll get Ali's take on it as well at sometime during the next hour or so. Now, moving along, let's talk about some physical media. Now, it's February, it's Black History Month, so I felt like it was appropriate. And of course, this ties right in as well to our guest tonight. Obviously, Ali Chappell was in Space Vampire, which is one of the films that she's been in. So, and because it's Black History Month, I figured, hey, let's talk about Blade on 4K, just recently released on 4K by Warner Brothers. Not really a lot to unpack here as far as packaging goes, but a really, really cool, nice slipcase. And of course, this is the movie. This is almost like the superhero movie. I think it is the superhero movie that really kind of kicked off where we are with superhero movies now. Doesn't really get enough credit, I don't think, but it's got a great sequel as well, obviously directed by Del Toro. But this original film is really, really good as well. Some of the visual effects don't necessarily, some of the CGI effects don't necessarily hold up too well, but the sets, the physical, the practical effects are awesome. And of course, Wesley Snipes, I guess this is the first Black superhero movie that they made, obviously from Marvel Comics. But this movie is worth checking out. 4K, it does look absolutely stunning. And if you do like superhero movies, I recommend checking it out, picking up when you can. So Blade, Wesley Snipes, awesome. And listen, we can't actually wait to see the new one too, but figured that was a nice tie-in because of vampires and blood. And I know all that stuff is stuff that Ali likes too. So I figured it was a nice fitting physical media review for this week. So now moving right along, we have to do our fried chicken sandwich report. Of course, no segment of the news would be complete without a fried chicken sandwich report. And of course, that's when I go out and try a chicken sandwich or fried chicken sandwich and then tell you how good it is. And of course, this week, it was, I went out and tried one, but it was the Burger King original chicken sandwich. Here's a photo of me in the top left corner there of trying this sandwich in the cold weather. And it was okay. I mean, it was all right. I mean, it's good for a snack. We base these reviews on value, size, taste. Taste was okay. The price is pretty good. They usually have like a 2 for $6 thing on a deal on, but the size is not bad either. But I'm going to say a 2.5 out of 5. Definitely isn't your top tier fried chicken sandwich, but it's okay. Unfortunately, it doesn't make the list. So I'm sorry, Burger King. I love Burger King's marketing department. I love the King. I love like subservient chicken. I love all the stuff that they've kind of done. They're a brilliant marketing company behind the scenes of a burger joint. But the chicken sandwich could use a little work. I think they need to up their game a little bit. But let's jump to the standings. Top 10 list of fried chicken sandwiches. Of course, we've got Coco Chicken still in the lead at number 1, tied for number 1, with Tall Tree Sandwich Co. operating out of Hamilton. Both those sandwiches get a 4 out of 5. 4.5 out of 5. They are amazing. If you like fried chicken sandwiches, if that's your jam, trust me, you're going to want to go check out those two places. And then Zinger Chick still holding on to the bronze medal on our top 10 list, our top 10 ranking, which is operating out of Guelph. Nice run family business with really kick-ass chicken sandwiches. So look, if you like chicken sandwiches like me, you're going to want to get some chicken sandwiches from these joints. So if you can, make sure you check those out. There's a lot of places coming back online, like I mentioned, like movie theaters and whatnot. And if you've got the time to check out one of these chicken sandwiches, I suggest you do so. And of course, why do we do this? Why do we do this every episode? It's because fried chicken just tastes so damn good. Anyway, moving on to our guest tonight. Of course, as you know, Ali is our guest tonight, Ali Chappell. She is an accomplished actor. And as I mentioned at the top of the program, we've got lots of stuff to talk about. She's got a ton of projects that she's working on right now and that she's recently put out. And we're going to get to all of them as soon as we can. But look, she starred in a number of feature films over the years, including Necropolis, Legion, and Girl with a Straight Razor. And she's also just recently directed her new short film entitled Verified. In addition to her acting work, Ali has also has a background in modeling and has started to accumulate a healthy list of production and writing credits in film as well. She's an absolute badass. She's super funny. And like I said, she's got a mouth of a sailor, her words, not mine. So get your questions ready to go, and we'll definitely get to them as soon as we can when we get her into the studio here. Now, let's take a quick look at a couple of trailers from some of Ali's recent film projects. We're going to play the trailer for Necropolis, Legion, and also the trailer for Girl with a Straight Razor. We've got Ali Chappell live on the other side, and we'll get to chatting with her. You know what? I'm going to redo that. Okay. I'm redoing this. We've got Ali live on the other side, and we're going to get to her right after this.
There are things in this town that should never be spoken of, never be written about.
Appreciate you coming. I love your book. Thank you. There are those stories that have never been heard. Some of it just handed down from family to family for generations. And some of it never written down. People aren't born evil. I think there's darkness out there that locks down on the natural world. And I think once it does, it's really hard to escape.
She's coming back.
fucking help.
Fuck you!
Are there any messages for me?
Messages, none.
Yes. Did anyone call for me?
No. I'm afraid nobody called.
Did anyone come by to see me?
See? Who would come by to see?
I don't know. Someone?
No. No one has come to see you. No one has called. And no one will. There's no one coming. There's no one coming. There's no one coming.
Okay, we're live.
Yay!
Welcome back, everyone. I am so pumped to be joined by Ali. And listen, you know what? There's no one coming at the end of that line of dialogue at the end of that trailer for Girl with a Straight Razor. Well, guess what? There are tons of people coming for me because I screwed up your last name. And so, listen, it's live TV, everyone. We're broadcasting live to Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. And so, my apologies. It's actually Ali Chappell, correct?
Yes.
Right. And I'm so sorry about that because I always just call you Ali, or we always bump into each other on the convention circuit. And it's always like, hey, dude, hey, bud. Like, you
Hey,
know,
bud.
so
I mean,
and it was the question I meant to ask you before we got on the air. And I totally forgot because we got to chatting. So apologies to everyone out there on the interwebs, wherever you're listening. It's Ali Chappell, my guest tonight, actor, writer, producer, doing a whole bunch of stuff, co-hosting a podcast, a whole range of topics to get to. But first and foremost, thanks for joining. Thanks for wearing matching t-shirts.
Yes, we're
Yay.
matching.
And how are you? I feel like I haven't really sat down and talked with you in forever. How you been?
I'm so good, and I am like so pumped for tonight. I ate an entire party-sized tray of veggies and dip. I watched the Anna Nicole biopic. I'm like ready to go. I got my Creep It Real bucket of booze to keep me company tonight.
Awesome.
And also, I decided that because I haven't had anyone over to my place because it's been a pandemic and I don't want to do that, I don't get to show off my tiki cup collection. So all my drinks are going to come from different tiki cups all night long.
And that's going to be important as well that we've discussed. We're not going to reveal it just now, but the Tiki Cup collection is going to mean something important. Like, this is important. This means something. Keep an eye on it, everybody, and we'll get to that a little bit later. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. We got a ton of people tuning in. Thanks everyone for a great audience tonight. And of course, if you are tuning in live, please leave your comments below or questions for Ali in the comments section, which on whatever platform you're listening to, and we will try and put them up on screen and get to them throughout the program. There's already a ton of comments. I feel like we should get to some comments right off the hop, because
I can't see any of them, so I feel bad. But hello, everyone. I'll look later.
There's some past guests, friends of the show here already. So we've got Spinsters of Horror tuning in. My bad bitch, Ali.
Them's my bad bitches.
Dream Team as well. I can only imagine that's probably you and that awesome shark tiki cup that you have, and not me for screwing up your last name. So, but I'll never forget now. I'll never forget again. But and of course we've got. Okay, this is something to consider. So, Toque with Jacket is so hockey night in Canada. I'm going to take that as a compliment. Thank you, Andrea. Of course, that's where I get a little bit flustered sometimes because I like keeping that costume change. It's a live costume change, might I add, on the program. So if you want me to keep that, let me know in the comments below, and I will try my best to keep doing that every week. But it does add a lot of pressure. So, but anyway, moving on. Let's see. Who else do we have here? We got to do. Okay, so.
I'm already on.
Sorry. Yes, Andrea. Zehrs is a grocery store. I don't know if there was a follow-up question to that, but no, if you're talking about the fried chicken sandwich, yes, Zares has fried chicken sandwiches. And of course, to all our vegetarian friends out there and vegan friends, there is a Jason Rockman who is recommended that there is a vegetarian or meatless fried chicken sandwich at Pizza. So we're going to actually go scope that one out and check that out too for everyone.
Pizza has sandwiches now?
Yeah, apparently.
Doesn't that go against their name?
Sandwich is what they're changing their name to, I guess so. But anyway, okay, so let's jump into let's jump into this, because you've had a whole bunch of stuff going on lately. You've been pretty busy the last couple of years. But let's take a step back and you've been in acting for a while. You've worked on a variety of projects. How did you get into that? I mean, obviously everyone wants is like, be great to be in the movies, right? Be great to work on stuff. But how did you personally get into the industry and getting into working on film projects like back in the day?
Oh my gosh. I started off doing short films with friends. I think like the first short film I did would have been around like high school, I want to say. And like it played a couple of festivals and I won a couple of awards, and I honestly am blanking on the name because that was like 15 years ago. And then I can actually weirdly track how I got into like the quote unquote horror community in Toronto. I did a short film back in 2013 called Lively, made by my homeboy, Jay Clark. Mwah, all the love. And then through him, he just kept introducing me to more and more people. And I just like started networking like crazy through that short film. And that's kind of how I broke into everything.
Gotcha.
So we can thank Jay Clark.
Jay Clark. Yes. Love Jay.
We all love Jay Clark.
One of the nicest guys in the Canadian film business, I would say. And then so you moved on to doing feature films. When did you start getting into like kind of bigger projects like that? And what keeps you invested into those projects and keeps you going?
Oh, I fucking love horror movies, and I love indie horror. I love being in this whole local horror genre, and it's my jam. And a big part of that, especially with the last couple of films that I did, they were all made with the amazing Chris Alexander, who working with him is truly like working with my best friend. And so he's really helped push my career forward in the last 5 years, especially getting me hooked up with like Full Moon. Like I've done 3 Full Moon movies now, and I love every fucking second of it. It feels so cool to be a part of a studio that I watched growing up. Like I watched Puppet Master and Subspecies and From Beyond and Reanimator, and getting to be a part of like that canon of films was fucking cool. And like he gave me the opportunity to play Eva in Necropolis Legion, and I got to have the iconic mouth boobies, and like, oh, that was like the best part of filming.
So let's talk about those, because it's I didn't post a photo of those because I wasn't sure it was going to get flagged on Instagram today.
Sometimes it does. Like I've had it flagged a few times, but then sometimes they like leave it up. So I guess it's just whoever's working that day.
I think it's mentally like a mental thing, right? I think it's like a not an optical illusion, but you don't process, you don't think to yourself, oh, those are like little tiny mouths with razor teeth on those breasts. Mm-hmm. They must be nipples, report. Right. So, yeah. But those, all the practical effects for that movie were produced by Butcher Shop. If I'm correct about that. Right.
Heck yeah, they were.
Talk about those effects. Talk about that costume.
Oh, okay. So it was a day where had to get my full chest molded. So that in itself was a whole ordeal where I'm like, cool. So I'm just going to be topless around a bunch of people. That's super fun. And they're all going to be looking at me. And I didn't think it was going to be that heavy because I've had my face life casted a bunch of times and like, it wasn't that bad, even though I'm kind of claustrophobic when it comes to that. But getting the chest pieces done, because it was all just on my front, as it's setting and getting hard, I could feel myself just like hunching over.
Right.
But it was such a fun experience. And when I first walked the Butcher Shop and got to see the finished pieces, I was like, fucking right, I get to wear these. I'm super psyched. And I did not, like, the entire time we were on set, I didn't take them off. I just like kept making them like eat things and like drink stuff. got real weird with it. Stan Winston like reposted our videos of the boob eating chips.
Big shout out to Carlos too at Butcher Shop. His work is always pretty incredible. I remember you stopping by like our booth, like the Black Fawn booth at I think it was Niagara Falls. It was
Frightmare,
in
like
the Falls, yeah. And you came
back
up
in
and you were
October.
like, yeah, and then you showed up with this prosthetic on, which and then proceeded to eat most of our DVDs.
Oh my god, yeah. So many pictures of me being like, just give me DVDs. I'm gonna stick them in here. It's gonna be so fun. Fun photo op.
So
that's my jam.
Did you get to keep that when you were done shooting?
No, I begged to keep it because I was like, this is the coolest thing. I could start like the weirdest OnlyFans with this. But no, it lives at Carlos's Butcher Shop, but he does let me borrow it for things like conventions, or I guess if I actually wanted to start that weird OnlyFans, he would probably let me have it.
Yeah, like
also cup number 2.
Oh yes, okay, and
it's Leatherface. Look at how cute he is.
Amazing.
Little baby.
We didn't plan that either. We didn't plan these shirts either. Right. I was just wearing the shirt and you were like, yo, I'm going to put on that. I have that same shirt. Let's double up. So tell us what you think about our shirts out there, internet world.
It better be either fucking cool or you're wrong.
Yeah. so you were in Necropolis Legion. That just came out. I think it's on Blu-ray, the director's cut. Like Chris Alexander's director's cut came out, I think, last year, right?
It's not on Blu-ray. It's currently just on DVD.
But
right? I'm pretty sure it's the director's cut. But it's also on Amazon Prime. It's on Full Moon Features, Full Moon Streaming, and Tubi.
Okay.
So definitely check it out across all those platforms.
Again, we're not sponsored by Tubi at all. I just want to preface this by saying this, but you should definitely check it out. Anyone in Canada, Tubi's massive in the States. It's basically free Netflix. They've got, I think, over 5,000 horror flicks on there.
Yeah,
you just go sign up and you watch it. There's ads, but they're actually less intrusive than anything you would watch on, let's say, YouTube. But it's definitely worth checking out if you're looking for films to check out. We've got Black Fawn Distro's got a couple films up there, but obviously Necropolis Legion, you can check it out there as well. Any of your other films on Tubi right now, or?
Yes. If it's not out, it's coming out very, very soon, but I'm pretty sure it's on there now. I was recently in Scream to the Blind Dead, which was fucking awesome because I got to be a part of the Blind Dead series, which I am like, I love it. Chris introduced me to that series and I'm like, this is fucking great. So when he made that film, I was like, listen, I'm in this movie. Just across the board, I'm in it. So figure it out.
Yeah.
And he did. It was great. And I'm pretty sure No Zero Alone, which is another Full Moon Features movie, is also on there. If it's not on there yet, it will be very, very soon. But I'm pretty sure it's on there now.
Awesome.
Don't quote me on that.
So go check out everyone. If you're looking to check out some of Ali's work, go check it out on Tubi and other places for sure. But Tubi will be probably the quickest, and it's free.
And the cheapest.
And the cheapest. So now I want to get to talking about your new short film Verified as well in a second. But to get there, I think we got to talk about what sort of draw. Like, I mean, you've been in you've worked with Chris Alexander on a number of films. Of course, we just saw the trailer for Girl with a Straight Razor, which is your newest feature. It's like his style is it's a combination of like different formats and different filming styles. You're obviously drawn to the avant-garde and horror, of course, and that to intersect. What draws you to that sort of style of movie that you like so much? Because I felt like I saw some of that and some of that influence in the short film Verified as well.
I love it. I love a good slow burn. Like forever, I've always loved a good slow burn. If you can tell a story without words, that's huge. And honestly, that's like the biggest challenge of an actor, is to be able to tell a story without words. I should preface this. A lot of Chris's films do not have a lot of dialogue in it. I think Necropolis is the one that has like the most dialogue, but like Screams of the Blind Dead has like none. And I think as an actor, that's the biggest challenge, is being able to act and tell a story with just body language and with like your face. But I love it. I love all the long shots of these beautiful landscapes. I love holding on to moments for like what feels like an uncomfortably long amount of time. Like if you can make me uncomfortable just by holding on to a shot of someone, then like that works for me. Like it's beautiful. And it's very like Italian and European, which is also just like straight up my vibe.
And it's and it's kind of it's an art form as well, just to figure out how long to sit on that. Like you just mentioned, like sitting on a scene just long enough, but not too long, but longer than you would expect it to be to create that sort of feeling inside you. Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. Now, like I mentioned, you've recently directed and wrote your new short film, Verified. Of course, that was you behind the camera. You've worked on projects before, but where does this fit into your filmography as far as like where you were and like what made you decide to make this film, this short film now? This isn't your first time directing or writing something, right? But it's like how much were you influenced by, where did this sit? Like when you started doing it, were you like, okay, this is what I want to make, and why did you make it then?
I had never really written like a script before, and I had this idea for a while, and I was kind of like, I should just tell this idea to someone and maybe they can write it, because I'm maybe not good at writing scripts. And then when the pandemic hit, I was like, you know what, fuck it, I should just, what's the worst thing that could happen if I write a script? It sucks and then I don't make it, whatever. But I wrote it, and originally I had the intention of also starring it, because, you know, if you're not booking jobs and you make jobs for yourself. But once it was written, I was like, this isn't me. Like, I am not that young 20-something Instagram influencer. And immediately I had an actor in mind, and that was Ariel, who is phenomenal. And our relationship is funny because we both went to the Randolph Academy together, and I was like 2 terms, 3 terms, or something, 4 terms before her. I don't know. But basically, as I was leaving, she was coming into the school. So we had very minimal interaction, a couple of dance classes together. So we didn't really talk, but we were like social media friends. And I basically just out of the blue reached out and I was like, hey, I wrote this script and I can't see anybody in this part besides you. Hope this isn't super fucking awkward that I've never talked to you outside of school. So you want to do it? And I sent her the script and she was like, fuck yeah, I'll do it. Because the whole movie is like 9 minutes of just Ariel, and she fucking kills it. Like, I cannot recommend her highly enough. She is super amazing. She is like a Twitch streamer, YouTuber. She is a little influencer, and it was made for her. And I didn't realize it until after the script was done. And I was like, no, she's the only one. And if she says no, then I'm just not going to make it. And
it's a cool take on an addition to like the zombie genre too, which is kind of neat too, because I mean, it's always neat. Like, I always feel like it's like, you know, what can you add to the genre? Like, what can you, a lot of stuff has been done before, but if you can just add a little extra spin on it, something original on it. Has it premiered anywhere yet as far as film festivals go?
It has played at the Salem Horror Fest and the Knoxville Horror Film Fest, and it's playing. Oh my God, is it playing this week at the Final Girls Berlin Festival? I think that's this week, so you can catch it there if you bought a ticket.
If you're in Berlin, right?
Also, I think they're also doing like a online. It's all online this year, I think. Okay. So I'm pretty sure anyone can buy an online ticket and go see it. And yeah, I love it. I'm super excited about it. It won 2 awards, which like I've never won an award for anything involving film before. So I like cried, and then I tried to do like a photo shoot with my awards, and I was crying mid photo shoot by myself in my apartment like a loser, just being like, I'm so happy right now, just take a nice photo.
New headshots.
Pretty much, yeah. Me just like tearing up and being like, I'm so proud of myself.
Let's get to a couple of comments. Of course, thanks everyone for tuning in. Myself and Ali really do appreciate it. That's Ali Chappell. For anyone who was confused at the start of the program, Ali Chappell is our guest tonight. But let's talk about the prosthetic from Necropolis Legion, Spinsters of Horror. Nipple mouths eating chips is now iconic. Yes, absolutely.
500,000 views.
And another comment here: boob eating chips coming soon to Shudder. We'll see if we can make that happen. And of course, let me see here. Oh, and again, I mean, we love the Spinsters of Horror. Like, they're so awesome. I know they're friends of yours as well. But Ali forces her way into everything, and no one regrets it. That's how we. Yeah,
that's how we met for one. But that's also like Kelly from Spinsters. That's basically how I forced my way into being her friend. We just kept going to the same events, and I'm like, hi. We're friends now.
Yeah.
That's how I do it. That's how I get into movies. That's how I like make other connections with people. That's how I got onto the Hammer Pub podcast that I host on Monday nights, is literally me just being like, hi guys, you want to have me on as a guest? And then like, now I'm your co-host.
and so has that's worked for you throughout your film career, I guess?
Yeah, it's got a good like 60% success rate. Some people are like, she's very overbearing, and I'm like, yeah, well, I know what I know.
You also have a collection of tiki cups too, right? So that you could always fall back on that. Yeah.
True. And just in commemoration of the new Texas Chainsaw movie, this is my Leatherface.
So let's talk. Can we talk about that let's deviate.
Let's
mix it up a bit. Let's talk about this new Texas Chainsaw Massacre trailer, because I watched it 3 times, not in a row, but just I went back and watched it.
I was going to say in a row. You're like hardcore, man.
And I saw a lot of reaction online about it, everywhere. People I know, people I don't know. What's your take? Are you a fan of the original and the original series? And what do you think of the new film?
Yeah, I'm a fan of the original one. I have my cup, obviously. I don't know if I can get this in here. I have my Texas Chainsaw blanket.
Oh, perfect.
Like, I love me some Texas Chainsaw. The original is probably one of the scariest films like I've truly ever seen. The new one, I am interested. I don't need my Texas Chainsaw to be woke by any means, but I'm kind of curious as to how they're going to incorporate the new generation into this one. Although I will say, and this is nothing against no one, but the fact that they made their comeback lead look almost identical to Jamie Lee Curtis in the new Halloween films. And I get it. We age, we still have long hair, and it turns gray, so it's hard to not look like each other. But like, felt like you could have made her a little bit different.
Well, one of the criticisms is that the line of dialogue is very, very similar too, where she says, "I've been waiting 50 years to meet Leatherface face to face," or what I'm paraphrasing, of course, but it seemed to be very, very, very similar to the Halloween. I don't know what you call them, rebootquels. I mean, I just watched Scream 5 and they call them requels.
Requels. Ooh, I like requels.
So I just don't know. I mean, I'll watch it. It'll be on Netflix. Of course, I'm going to check it out.
Yeah, I'm going to watch it.
But there's definitely a lot of people out there that are like, stop remaking these movies and stop trying to kind of add them to whatever's there. Like I had somebody, we just had Reese and Gabe from the directors of For the Sake of Vicious on the program. Reese was asking me like, what was my take on it? And it's just like, I don't know. Like, I mean, I guess it just depends on how good the movie is, but these series that are now saying, well, this is a direct sequel to the original, but all the other sequels they don't exist, right? Like they're retconned out of the timeline, and it feels like everything has multiple timelines.
Yep. I mean, Halloween has like 4 different timelines.
Mm-hmm.
At least Scream kept the same timeline all the way through.
Right. And same with, I guess, Nightmare on Elm Street. You could, I mean, the classic series, like before they went to like, I mean, I guess they tried, like, it's funny because before I went to see Scream 5, like I mentioned at the top, like I watched all the other 4 Scream movies, and Scream 4 is actually, I was surprised by how well it stood up, because it's got so many little things in there about rebooting, because at the time in 2011, they were rebooting everything, like Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street and Amityville Horror. And all this stuff.
I feel like every 5 years we kind of do reboot everything. Like, if you see the list of everything that's coming out this year, and it's like new Exorcist, new Final Destination, new Saw movie. It's like, okay, I'm going to watch all of these across the board. It's just, I also want to see new stuff. Like, there has got to be stacks of awesome scripts out there that aren't getting made, and I'm like, it's cool that we're gonna remake another Final Destination film, because I could literally watch those films for the rest of my life and be happy. But I would like to see new ideas. I would like to see new directors and new actors, and I think that's why I miss film festivals so much. Like, it's great that they're all online, but I like going in person and being in a theater and getting the theater reaction to seeing like a new concept on screen, being like, fuck yeah, that's the future of horror right there.
I love, what I miss about it too, film festivals, and exactly what you just said, because the buzz before, Like I always remember being like, let's say Fantasia for
Fantasia.
like, you know, you'd go there for like, you know, however long you're there for, but let's say the second day that you're there for 3 or 4 days, and the second day you're there, you're at the bar or whatever, and someone's like, hey, are you going to see this movie? And you're like, no, I haven't heard about that one. Oh man, like trust me, like all I've heard is good things. You got to go see it. And then you go and see it with a bunch of people. And I just feel like the word of mouth travels a little bit quicker in person. Especially when there's some beers involved too, right? I mean, and everyone's there, you know, selling their shit and like talking their shit up and stuff. And like, that's fun. Like, I mean, everyone's hustling, right? I just don't feel like you get that quite online because there's so much information coming at you all the time. Like,
yeah. And also and everyone who knows me personally knows that I suck at a group chat. So if I'm in a group chat with more than like 2 people, I'm like, fuck this group chat. I'm not going to respond to anything. Like I need to be in that. We all just saw that same movie. Now we're all going to go to the bar. We're going to have a couple of drinks and we're either going to love it or we're going to hate it, but we're going to talk about it all fucking night long. And I miss that. And I miss learning, but yeah, I miss learning about all the like other films, especially with Fantasia where they have like 300 films over the course of like 3 weeks. And
yeah,
you buy like, I always buy like maybe like 10-ish tickets to see movies and then pick up more along the way because people would be like, oh, have you seen like this one? And Amelia, I'm like, no, but what? Yes, I should. That sounds amazing.
Yeah. And as well, if you miss something as well, you have this like almost like this FOMO, right? Afterwards, being like, I should have gone to that movie. And then you'll go check it out afterwards when you kind of get home or you see like the sort of the home video release or if it hits another festival near you and that sort of stuff, right? So we miss film festivals. I
miss them so much. And if Fantasia comes back, like I am there in Montreal this year. So let's all do our part and be safe.
Keep your fingers crossed, people.
Get back to Montreal.
Now, I kind of wanted to talk to you about this as well, because we've had guests in the past come on and we've chatted about famous like female protagonists in horror films in movie history. And maybe not necessarily horror films, but for the most part, horrors have these strong female protagonists. Let's chat about that because I feel like that's kind of what they're trying to do with this new Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. Like they're trying to kind of mimic what happened with the 2018 Halloween, which is cool. But I mean, what makes a strong female protagonist? Because I'd love your take on this, because as you're getting in, you know, obviously you're directing now, you've acted for a while. And what performances in movie history kind of hit your list? And like, how do those performances get on your list as far as the best of all time? And can you name a few?
Oh my God.
Not to put you on the spot, but
yeah. I know. I'm like, shit. Every time I get put on the spot for something, I'm like, I've never watched a movie before in my entire life.
That's a lie.
I know. My brain is at. And I'm trying to like awkwardly like look around my room being like, is there any posters here that I can like draw stuff from? Like, what do we got going on? I already forgot what the question was. I'm going to be like the worst guest. Yes. So, are we talking about like Final Girls per se, or are we talking more like just powerhouse women in
either or? Okay. I think I always feel like there's a list, and I always feel like it's a bit shorter than it should be. And I just, you know, I have trouble thinking about that too, but like, I think it's important, especially for horror. And where horror movies are kind of going right now, I think it's just an interesting conversation to have. I just wondered if you had any thoughts on that.
I mean, I love seeing any powerhouse woman in movies. I think women are incredibly strong, especially with all the fucking shit we have to deal with on a day-to-day basis. Because truly we do. It's garbage. But I always feel like my favorite Final Girls aren't the ones that, like, they're not the Sydney Prescotts. They're not the Lauries. They're not like the mainstream ones. Like, I love Susie from Suspiria, who, you know, went to a dance school, found it was like entirely witches, and then had to fight her way out of it. I thought that was fucking badass as shit. And also that movie gives me like a little bit of PTSD because I also went to a dance academy and I am a witch. And it's just like, I get it. I get
it.
But yeah, I want, especially with the progression of how films, like how horror films have been going since like the 70s and 80s, we see women being more full characters versus just there to be naked or there to support the male lead. Like now it feels like they're able to hold their own story and hold their own lives and be the hero. Which like
Right.
the Scream films, I watch them, but I could honestly give a fuck about them. But I like seeing that Sydney is her own person and she does deal with her trauma. And I haven't seen the new one yet, so
No spoilers.
no spoilers.
No spoilers.
Especially because it came out so long ago and we haven't had a movie theater until yesterday. And I also feel like I was in a movie theater yesterday as well. I saw The Matrix and it was fine. I don't fully get those movies. Like, I feel like I get them in the sense I don't know what's happening, but they're just talking a bunch of shit that's like, but
Yeah.
costumes, sunglasses, game, all on point. Fight scenes, all on point. They'll always get my money. They're entertaining as shit. Yes, circling back. Yeah, I just like seeing the progression of women getting stronger in horror movies. And especially now that we have so many female-driven ones. Like, obviously, Halloween's always been kind of female-driven. But the one thing I will take away from the newer ones is that Lori is fucking strong as shit. And she fucking knows what she's doing. She's prepared for, like, ever, which is also kind of crazy. And also, maybe she needs to deal with some trauma. But because of that, she raised a daughter who was strong. And then that strong daughter raised a strong daughter. And that's almost, in a way, breaking that traumatic cycle of being like, no, we are strong women. We can take care of our fucking selves. And if that motherfucker's going to come back, he's going to become, like, he's going to walk into a fucking, like, war.
I thought it was the thing I liked about that movie, speaking of that, is that how the generations interacted with each other. So you had, obviously Jamie Lee Curtis, which is like, I'm actually, I'm going to be going on a podcast soon talking about the entire Halloween series and critiquing it. So I'm working my way through all the movies. So I just got done. I know, like you said, there's like 100 timelines for Halloween. So I just got done the Resurrection timeline. I guess the H2O timeline. I guess that's what you call it.
H2O.
But you know what's funny? It's like, Jamie Lee Curtis has always been so committed to that role, no matter the movie. Like, no matter what the storyline is or whatever, she's always really, really on point.
She's committed to the bit. Like, she is in it to win it.
And I love the interaction in the 2018 movie about like how, grandma interacted with granddaughter and how granddaughter interacted with or daughter interacted with mom. And I just thought that was really, really cool. And something that I hadn't seen that in like kind of at least a mainstream horror movie. And I don't think ever. So I thought that was interesting.
And I like seeing that intergenerationalness of it all, because truly, if someone's gone through something that traumatic that Lori went through, it can either get passed on in an unhealthy way or it can get passed down in a healthy way. And she passes it down in a way that's like, no, we protect ourselves. We don't need anybody else. We hold our lives in our own hands. We can defend ourselves. And I thought, well, the movies, I'm like, that was a great part of it for me, was having that arc for those women.
Yeah. And I've had this conversation before too, and just talking about how I think horror movies, especially, or you can expand that to genre films, I guess, in general, is just the fact that the villains are so awesome and so threatening and iconic that's a great foil for the protagonists to work off of. Mm-hmm. And I feel sometimes in other genres and, superhero genres or, maybe action or whatever, like that isn't necessarily quite there as much as it should be. So, and I feel like your hero is only as strong as your villain, right? So you need that sort of give and take for it to really, really work. And so I'm wondering, I mean, it's funny. We just got a comment here. Jeff Schmidt was saying, just wanted more female killer protagonists. Give me some new The Witch Who Came from the Sea stories. So, but yeah, I mean, what about female villains?
Jeff knows.
Because there doesn't seem to be like that many compared to like male villains, right? Or am I completely off base on that?
No, I definitely think we need a lot more female villains. I think that should be the new trope in horror movies, because it's usually men and it's usually a lot of violence against women, which like that's kind of Lowe's here. Oh, sweet baby. But we need more female protagonists and antagonists. That's why, this is horror adjacent, but that's why I love Jawbreaker so much, because it's all female. They're the good guys, they're the bad guys, and you love, hate them all. You're like, oh, she's a terrible person, but also I get it. And that's what I want more of in horror movies. Also, I'm wearing like 3 shirts because I put this shirt on as a joke and I feel like I should be promoting my friend's company. So I'm going to take off one of my t-shirts. It's very hot in here now with these lights going. Did I take off? Nope. I took off too many. Nope. Okay. Nope. No, I fucked this up. I took off too many shirts at once.
See, the costume change is hard, right?
There we go. Yeah, and I came from theater. I should be better at a costume change, but like clearly I'm not.
That started as a joke. Yeah, that started as a joke. Me changing started as a joke. I was like, I wonder if I could do this.
I think it's asking me if I need help. I don't need help, Siri. Stop it.
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Did I fuck this up?
Yeah, no, we got you.
Okay,
no problem.
This is my first time using AirPods. I'm sorry, everybody.
No problem.
But
No, you're doing great.
This is for Steph. Wearing your shirt, girl.
Awesome. Okay, so now let's talk a little bit about we do a segment on the show called Rapid Fire. It's a rapid fire series of questions. And of course, we need to do this every show because we couldn't just do a show and let someone like yourself off the hook, right? So rapid fire is our rapid fire section. It's brought to you by Wellington Brewery's Hellas Lager. Obviously, take advantage of Wellington's free local delivery in the Guelph area, or check out their local Guelph brewery, located, of course, in Guelph, or pick up some cans wherever you pick up your favorite adult beverages in Ontario. That would be the LCBO. And you can pour them in tiki glasses and drink them. So Hell's Lager,
number 3. This is my Planet of the Apes one.
So keep an eye on these tiki cups. And we'll tell everyone a little bit about these tiki cups after we do rapid fire. Okay. So I know this was a little bit of a surprise. I didn't tell you that this was happening at the start of the show, but are you game to do it?
Just throwing me under the bus.
Okay. Right. Here we go. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Rapid fire, yes or no. Does director Chris Alexander really know absolutely everything about horror films?
Yeah. Like I feel like people should know this. We've been dating for like 5 years. And literally being in a relationship with him is like dating an encyclopedia. And it's amazing because I feel like I'm smarter now because of it. Even though sometimes I'm like, cool story, bro. But like most of the times I'm like, yeah, tell me more, babe.
He's a computer when it comes to that. Even just film history, right?
Oh my God. And not just horror film history, just like film history in general. And now that he's really gotten into 16mm collecting, it's just like opened up a whole new world of stuff he wants to talk about. And I'm here for it. Like it's all very entertaining.
Okay. So speaking of which, rapid fire question number 2, you got to pick one. Kind of a bit of a 2-parter question, but you got to pick an answer here. You've got a magic movie ticket that grants you and a friend admission to any movie ever. What movie are you going to see and who are you bringing?
Oh my God, I hate you. This is like a terrible rapid fire question. Okay.
I wanted to get some music in here, right? Like some mysterious, like stressful
I know.
music.
I'm like, there's so many movies and so many people. And if I say the wrong person, they're going to hate me.
Just let everyone know the comment section is still open if you care to comment on these choices.
Yeah, if you got beef. But I'm going to say, I know it's not like a super old movie, but it's like one of my 5 top favorite movies of all time. And it's Practical Magic. And I never got to see it in theaters because I was like very wee. And I would go with my mom because it's a movie about a family of witches.
Okay.
And it's about love. And like we're in February and love is all around us.
And who are you bringing with you? You can bring
my
a guest.
Mom. I just said that.
Oh, your mom. Sorry, I didn't hear.
God,
sorry.
Game
Mom.
is already bullshit.
Okay, so next question, rapid fire question number 3. You've jokingly told me in the past that you have a mouth like a sailor.
What?
So if you were a pirate, what would your pirate name be?
You, I don't know. Ooh, I do have a pirate joke though. Can I tell my pirate joke instead?
we will accept a good pirate joke as substitution.
All right. What is a pirate's favorite letter?
R.
You think it's R, but it's really the C.
Oh, I thought it was I. Okay, no problem. We'll accept that. Rapid fire question number 4. Tell us more. We always bump into you on the convention circuit. Can you tell us a funny story about something that's happened to you at a convention?
Besides this year of like the hundreds of people who stuck their fingers into my mouth boobies.
Yeah, except yes, that aside. Yeah.
Well, my girl Kelly from Spinsters of Horror, she often comes and works the full moon booth with me, and because there are no rules at conventions, let's be real, we are getting day drunk at that booth, and that always leads to shenanigans. And were you there when we went go-karting?
Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah, that was the fucking best. Mainly because I feel like nothing. Oh my God, what am I saying? No, the crazy thing never happened at a convention. It was back in like 2014-ish. 2013-ish, because I was still interning with Rue Morgue, and they had done this Festival of Fear shirt that had a Gremlins print on it, and Joe Dante was one of the guests that year. And like, I went up and chit-chatted with him for a bit, and I was wearing the shirt, and he was like, "That's a fucking awesome shirt. Why didn't I get one?" I'm like, "That seems like a fucking crazy oversight." So I went and grabbed him a shirt from the booth, and I was like, "Guys, this is for Joe Dante. I'm just taking it." And then I went up to Joe Dante. I was like, "Here, I got you a shirt." And he was like, "Cool, come here," and then kissed me on the mouth.
Whoa.
I mean, it was like a dad peg. It was like a mwah, but I was like, "Oh my God."
That must be, I know. That's like that's like a generational thing, right? Where like everyone used to like give pecks on the lips, and then at some point, like that wasn't cool anymore.
Especially during COVID.
Yeah.
Also,
exactly.
I'm like currently watching that terrible reality show Girls Next Door about the Playboy bunnies, and just watching Hugh kiss every fucking person on the mouth. I'm like, should we all be doing that now? Just like, that's why I keep just kissing all of my mugs. Just
Okay, and last question number 5, rapid fire. What do you want? We kind of talked about this a little bit, but I wanted to include it here as well. What would you like to see new horror sequels to classic titles do better in the future? So sequels
do better.
What could they do better to make them more awesome in the future? Because there's a lot of pushback on stuff that they're doing now, right?
Yeah, I want to see, obviously, like more female leads and more leads of like more inclusivity across the board, because I think that's amazing. I like just seeing different areas of people getting more inclusive representation. And less cell phones. It's a big thing for me, but like every time I see someone like with their iPhone being like that whole part in the trailer being like, "What's up, bro? You're going to get canceled, whatever you do." I'm like, fuck off with that. Like, it takes me out of a horror movie when you just have your fucking cell phone out. Like, every horror film should be set somewhere where there's no cell reception so that you literally can't use your phone.
That's the part of the trailer that I don't know if I can get. I would think I was like on board until that part. And it's not just because it's like the inability to not have a cheesy joke. Like you know what I mean? It's like, oh, wouldn't it be funny? I was like, who would say that to a guy wearing like a flesh mask with a chainsaw? Like, you wouldn't say that. You would get the fuck out of Dodge.
Yeah. And also there wouldn't be 12 of you holding up your cameras being like, "You're going to get canceled." It's like, or go with me on this. You fucking leave. Because that dude's going to get canceled for what? He clearly does not care.
Yeah.
Like, so that's always a big thing. And I could do without it. Obviously, if it furthers the plot in the sense what your movie is based around, like the short film I did is based around being on your phone. But if you don't need to have it, then don't, because it takes you out. And like, truly, I thought, like, I knew this was a sequel to the original, so I knew that it was going to be taken around this time anyways. Mm-hmm. But the way it looks, the way they're dressed, I'm like, okay, maybe it's not like a 2020 movie. And then they pulled their phones and I'm like, oh no, it is. Never mind.
Yeah. Someone said, I can't remember who said it online. It was someone we know. I might've been Cam. I can't remember, but
Cam.
It might've been Cannibal Cam. If I'm misquoting, I apologize. So correct me if I'm wrong, but so I think it was Cam. He said, like, how old is Leatherface? Is he 70 in here? Like, I mean, how old is he? Like,
that's the other thing. Like, how old is he now? Is he just an old man killing people? Like, like a chainsaw in one hand and a cane in the other. Like,
yeah. So I'm not sure. I feel like they could have put it in. Maybe they could have set it in the 90s and it would have made, or I don't know.
Well, I mean, I'm here for anything 90s and early 2000s. Like, that is my whole jam. My whole apartment is just 90s and 2000s themed. And I would have fucking loved that. That would have been like a gift. It would have been so pretty.
Awesome. Okay. And that's it. That's it for Rapid Fire. You're done. Thanks for being such a good sport. Of course, Rapid Fire is brought to us by Wellington Brewery's Hellas Lager. Go to your local LCBO or wherever you buy cans of beer, pick up some Hellas Lager. It's an easy drinking lager, and we do appreciate their support and, for fueling us at Black Fawn Distro throughout the pandemic, as well as on the convention circuit. Speaking of the convention circuit, I want to talk to you a little bit about that, but we're going to take a quick commercial break, give you a little bit of a rest, but we'll be back in about 30 seconds. If you'd like. And what we'll do is when we come back, we're going to talk to you about what you have coming up and maybe we'll talk a little bit about go-karting when we get back
that was
from
so much fun.
this break. Okay. So anyway, let's take a quick break and we'll be back right after this.
Black Fawn Distro. Movies, merchandise, available now at blackfawndistribution.com.
Listen, we're back with Ali Chappell. Thanks for sticking around. I know we're going a little bit longer than usual. These interviews are starting to take on a life of their own, but we've got a great
all night. I got nothing going on.
We've got a great conversation going here too. Lots of people piping in here, just saying, talking about, cell phones and, Coffee Cup Witch piping in here. I feel like there's an overcompensation of writing trying to be too woke now.
Thank you.
We got to find a balance.
Like, everything is too woke. I'm like, we get it, but like,
and
just let some teenagers die. Who cares?
And Jeff also commenting, Jeff Schmidt, cell phones are a safety blanket. Don't care if it's dumb, but find a way to get rid of characters' phones. Immediately makes it scarier. And concurring, Spincers of Horror, of course, still tuning in. Absolutely isolate people. I was trying to think, even just during the break there, I remember the last movie I kind of saw like that was The Hills Have Eyes remake. Which I thought was pretty great. But that has a whole subplot of the guy is actually a cell phone guy. Like he's, which I thought was kind of interesting. I don't really see that too often in movies, but, and so I feel like no cell phone reception was more credible coming from that guy, and knowing that you weren't going to get it. And they were sort of stuck in the middle of nowhere and in the hills. Right. So, but yeah, absolutely. 100%. Now we were going to talk about, tiki cups or tiki mugs. And there was a comment here. The OHFP friends of the show, longtime listeners of the show. Question for yourself: what makes a great tiki cup?
Oof. First of all, the general design. Like, of course, it has to look so not all of mine are horror themed, but all the ones I'm doing tonight are kind of horror and movie themed. But like, it has to have a nice, intricate design. Look, he's got the puzzle box. He's all like scary. He's even got the thingy on the back of his head. I love all this. And okay, this is nothing against Mondo, who I bought one of these off of. I like it when they have the glossy finish.
Okay.
Because texturally it feels better in my hands, whereas this one, which the design is beautiful, but it's got like this weird matte finish that's very grainy, and it just feels like if my hands are a little bit sweaty, which, hi, if you know me, I have like the world's sweatiest hands. It's super gross. I just feel like they're gonna get like tarnished quicker. I don't know. Texturally, I don't like the feel of it, but like it looks so good, so like I can't be mad because look how cute he is.
Okay.
Also, this one was a very expensive one. I was very not keen on that. But Mondo is amazing, and I can't hate. So, like, I'll pay what I'll pay.
Okay, fair enough. And we talked about this before we came on the air. We want to do a bit of a giveaway, and we were trying to think of a way to do this giveaway. So here's the question: you have to email us at takeover@blackfawndistribution.com. So just takeover@blackfawndistribution.com, and you have to tell us. The first person to respond. Yes, we'll do the first person to respond. Tell us what tiki cups Ali drank from on the broadcast tonight. You can go back and watch the video.
This one's a Freddy Krueger one. Look at how cute it is. So I'm like so bad with trying to figure out where this camera is. Look at him with his little gloves. See, the design works. Although this one's pretty flat, but like it's cute.
So we had Freddy Krueger, and there was a bunch more because you told me at the start of the program you're going to go through your entire or as many tiki cups as possible. So anyone out there, if you want to win a prize pack, Ali, you want to tell them what they can win?
Yes, I will put down what I am doing.
Sorry. Live TV. It's live TV. Anything can happen.
Anything. You will win an autographed copy of Necropolis Legion and the Vampirella issue that I was on the cover of. That's me.
Awesome. And you're going to autograph these before they go
I'll
out?
autograph both of them too. And if you want to like message me and have me write something specific or just sign my name, let me know and I'll make it all fancy for you and I'll mail it to you and then we can be pen pals. Because I feel like no one's a pen pal anymore and I would love it if people just wrote me more letters and then I'll write them back and it'll be adorable. Okay,
so I'm gonna post the email here in the group chat. I think it'll post, so we'll just take a look. But if you're tuning in, takeover@blackfawndistribution.com. The first person to send me an email with the correct responses, and I will verify with Ali. No pun intended, obviously. Shout out to your short film. She'll confirm, and then she'll sign both of those awesome items and drop them in the mail for you, so you guys can. And you'll probably get a pen pal out of it as well. So. Great.
Yeah, there needs to be more pen pals. Like, let's bring back snail mail. I am like all for that. During the pandemic, oh my God. One of the things we did during the pandemic, back when I was living with my roommates, Steven and Lisa, is we started just cutting out letters from magazines and then writing ransom note love letters to people. And that was like what we did. It was adorable.
So
we had a lot of time on our hands. It was a pandemic. There was nothing to do.
I know. And we're creeping up on 2 years now. Isn't that crazy?
No, we're creeping up on 3 years. What are you talking about, man? They started in like beginning of 2020. It's 2022.
Yeah. So that's yeah. I'm tired.
I'm tired.
I'm hoping we can I think conventions seem to be coming back online. And how pumped are you?
Conventions online seems like a not.
Well, no. Sorry. Like they're just coming back online. Like the events are actually happening.
I was like, that seems kind of lame. Like I'm not gonna. Love to meet a celebrity, but not through like a.
Yeah. I'm trying to get off the computer, not get on it more.
Yeah, like I feel like I'm blinding myself every day being on the computer more and more.
But how pumped are you for that? Like, how pumped are you to get back into conventions?
I am so pumped. Like this year we did. So I worked the full moon booth at what I usually do at like Fan Expo and. Oh my God, sorry. I didn't want to like burp really loudly and aggressively on camera, but next time I might just let it happen because I feel like I was going to mini throw up.
Sure.
I work the Full Moon booth for like Fan Expo and Frightmare and Niagara Falls Comic Con and basically wherever else Full Moon wants to be because I love them. I love shucking their worth. I love talking about Full Moon films. So we did it for Fan Expo this year, and then like a week or so later we did Frightmare, but I wasn't with Full Moon. I was a guest at Frightmare, which like I was like crying that whole weekend, being like, "Oh my god, I get to be in the celebrity row." And originally, like I was supposed to be in like the corner, not really with the row, and then James changed it around and was like, "Nah, you're on like the real row." And I was like, "Oh my god, this is so cool! I'm next to like CJ Graham. He's so cool and tall."
And are you? Do you think you'll be going? You'll be a guest at an upcoming convention as well again?
Honestly, I'll go to any convention if they'll have me. It was so much fun. I'll wear the costume. Everyone can put their like fingers in their mouths and their movies in it, and it'll be like a blast. Yeah, I'll love it. But even if I don't guess, as long as Moon wants to do conventions, I'll work all the conventions in Ontario because it's just conventions are truly like where I made some of my best relationships with people because it's just a whole building full of like-minded people who are just there for the same things that you're there for. And it's so, so great. And you always get to find like super good deals and unique stuff that you really can't find anywhere else, or you get introduced to new local businesses that you didn't know about before. And it just feels like its own little intricate community. And I'm like, I'm here for it and I miss it so much. Although I will say, and I feel like you knew this because you saw me at the convention, even though we're still in the pandemic, I was very much like, I'm super psyched that everybody's here, but also there's a lot of people here and we're still in COVID.
Yeah. And it's hard not to hug people. Like
it's so hard not to hug people.
Like I remember like you'd hug people when you showed up, you'd hug people when you left all the time. And yeah, I mean, I think we're getting back to that. And that's great. I mean, you know, you got to make sure everyone's comfortable with it and whatever, of course. But like, I mean, we've been on a circuit for a number of years, and yourself as well. And it's like, it's hard when you see people like you haven't seen in like a couple of years, and it's like, oh, what's going on? Like, and it's like, it's party time, right? So
it's party time. And then like after the convention's done, at the end of the day, you like want to go out with people and you want to go out and do something, especially when we're in Niagara Falls. Like that's like the place to go out and do shit.
Yeah. Yeah. And speaking of, we got to talk about go-karting, right? Because when I had Kelly and Jessica on the show from Spinsters of Horror.
Spinsters.
I love those ladies. Fantastic guests as well. If you haven't checked out their episode, make sure you hit up our YouTube and check out that back episode because it's
and also
it's
just go
awesome.
to their podcast.
And go to their I was just about to say check out their podcast, Spinsters of Horror, and Kelly. And actually, both of them have like numerous projects on the go. And if you want a different insight into horror especially from a female perspective, I can't recommend it enough. But I remember you were there too. You were part of the go-kart gang, and we went go-karting, and I think that was in 2019. I'm pretty sure
it was like just before the pandemic hit.
And we were like, we're going to do this every year, and it's going to be a showdown on the asphalt, and and then we never did it again. So maybe
because
this year,
of the stupid pandemic. But
but I mean, maybe this year, this July.
Oh my God, yes, all the fingers crossed. Rematch. Because I honestly do not remember. I know I didn't lose, but I don't remember who won. But I do remember that like all of us had a couple of drinks, and it was just Gabe being like, "All of you, shut up! I'm gonna do the talking."
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right.
They might kick us off the track. Yeah, no crashing. Well, I remember. I don't remember who won either, but all I remember is I was trying to overtake Kelly. And I clipped her tire and she spun out, and I just remember looking back and she was just daggers. She was like, "You asshole." That's like, sorry.
Like, we went from like 0 to like super competitive. Like immediately we were like, no, we're gonna win. We can't let these Black Fawn assholes beat us.
So okay, so it's a challenge accepted then. We're gonna do this 2022, right?
We're going to do it as often as we can.
Okay, we'll try and get some video this time, and we'll try and throw something together for.
Oh my God, yes, we need to get like GoPros for our heads. So we get live action stuff.
So speaking of live action communities, all that stuff, you're also co-host, as if you don't have enough stuff going on. You're also co-host of the podcast Let's Scream, as part of the Infamous Horror Network. Do you want to let everyone know a little bit about that too?
Ooh, yeah. So, the podcast is called Let's Scream, and it's with the wonderful, amazingly talented Mudmi Show and she is this beautiful human being from Montreal who I met in Montreal at Fantasia, because Fantasia is what brings all of us together, even though like so many people from Ontario go, and I feel like that's where I meet other Ontarians. That's not a word, but yeah, the Infamous Horror Facebook page, which has like, I don't even know, something like 1.4 million followers or something. They got together with people. I want to say Martin and maybe Steve, and I'm going to butcher their last names. But they were like, we should utilize the fact that you have this massive platform and create a podcast network. So there's a bunch of different like shows on that network, and we lucked out and we got to be basically the Women in Horror podcast. So once a month we have like a really cool guest who's a female in horror come on and talk about their experience with horror, their experience in horror, and just shoot the shit with us. It's like our own virtual slumber party together. And it's great. We had the last episode that just came out, we had Gigi Salguero on it, who did Culture Shock and Bingo Hell, which is on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
And she's fucking
phenomenal.
Incredible. And like, super props to her. She's like the voice of the female Angry Bird in the Netflix series. Like that's crazy. I love it.
She also has the best produced like TikToks or reels. Like,
oh my God.
Like I'm
They're
like,
so
like I was trying to figure that out one day, and I was like, I just don't know how you do this quickly. Like I don't know.
Oh,
and,
she was
and
out like
hers,
nobody's business.
Hers are just like yeah, like that Grinch one. I was just like, this is crazy. Like it's so good. So if you haven't followed, if you don't follow Gigi, I'm sure everyone here does. But if you haven't already, make sure you follow her stuff. It's awesome.
She's making waves. Like she is working with Blumhouse to do a bunch of stuff. She is truly incredible and deserves all of our recognition. And we also had, oh my God, I'm never going to butcher her name, and I feel like such a piece of shit. Jill Gervagian, the director of The Stylist.
Okay.
Come on. And she is also just phenomenal. Like, you want to talk to someone who loves Texas Chainsaw? Talk to her. She loves Texas Chainsaw. I'm pretty sure she had her way. She could would want to redo it, and she would redo it properly. But she was great. She talked about The Stylist and everything that came together with making that movie. And I could have listened to her talk all day. And also knowing that she was a stylist in real life before making a movie, I was like, so I have a lot of hair questions because I am not good at hair. I use box dye. And she was just like, oh no, but it's great. And we're going to have a lot more guests coming up this year that we can't announce yet, but you'll love them and you'll know them when you see them.
How can people check out the show? It's on YouTube through.
It's on YouTube. It's on Spotify, it's on Apple Podcasts.
Okay.
It's on, I think, almost anywhere you can get podcasts. Okay. But it's fun. And there's also a bunch of other really great shows on there that people should check out as well.
Awesome.
And just support the network in general.
Yeah, those guys are great. Martin and Steve.
Martin and Steve. Yeah, Steve V. Oh my God. So the whole thing, so I was supposed to be, you heard me cry about this. I was supposed to be in Evil Dead the Musical in January, and we were supposed to have our last show should have been on Saturday, and it shatters my heart that I didn't get to be Cheryl this time around, because I've done the musical before where I was Annie and Shelley, but this time I got to be Cheryl, locked in the basement making sex puns, and I'm like, that's me. But it didn't happen because of fucking COVID. But there was this whole thing where Steve was supposed to come out for his Hail to the Deadites doc and interview us and talk to us, and it super sucked that we also lost out on that opportunity. But
I wasn't going to bring it up.
But still check out Hail to the Deadites and go out and get fucking vaccinated.
Absolutely. Hopefully you get another shot at that for sure, and I'm sure you will. Yeah, 100%. And if anyone out there, if you want to check out Let's Scream, make sure you check it out on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. Just like Black Fawn Distro's Takeover Tuesday, you can check us out on YouTube. We broadcast live, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube, and then obviously retransmit to all the major streaming platforms. A little shout out to ourselves because I don't care. It's my show, right?
This fucking self-promotion. Any chance you get. I also, honestly, I have a frame poster in Necropolis that I'm like, how can I set this up in the background? But it kept sliding between my couch and the wall. So I'm like,
A couple other comments, and then we're gonna wrap things up. But
no, we are doing this all
Witch.
night.
Everybody DM Ali after the live show, so we can start a group chat, which she apparently won't participate in because it's a group chat. But still,
I'm like not ask Kelly. Kelly has had me in several group chats, and she's like, I add her, and then she says one thing and then never talks again.
This is I'm just going to assume this is Kelly running this feed, but she says Dick.
Yep.
I think
she fucking knows.
I'm pretty sure that's to me because she says rematch Benner. So I'm sure that has something to do with the go-kart. It's an infamous go-kart race that happened almost 3 years ago. So
we'll rematch and we'll crush them.
Yeah.
The full moon booth babes are gonna crush the Black Fawn whatevers. All right.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to it. I will not turn that challenge down. Now, before we go, thanks again for sticking around. Thanks again for doing this. So awesome. But I did want to give you sort of a bit of a platform to just say, like, what do you have coming up next? And where can people purchase and check out all of your films online? We said some of them are available on Tubi, but and through Full Moon. But anything you want to pitch, anything you want to tell people to check out, the floor is yours.
Ooh, I have a pitch. It is crazy that I have been friends with the Black Fawn guys forever, and we all love each other. Yet, where's our collab there, Benner?
I'm on the other side.
Make some wild accusations. Guys, this is my audition. I obviously love and worship you, so put me in your films. Sorry, I can post for you.
I will certainly ask them and I will pass that on.
Is it because you think you're going to lose in some go-karting in the future?
Yeah.
Ooh, that can be the thing. If I win, I get to be in all your movies.
Oh my goodness. You know what? You're talking about raising the stakes there. That's for sure. High stakes, right?
But if I lose,
high
I
drama.
have to live forever.
High stakes and high drama on the go-kart raceway.
Yeah, we're all going to have to get
laneways. Laneways. Go-kart laneways, yeah. Raceways, right?
The people in the comments will figure it out.
Yeah. I'm sure they'll let me know. Yeah.
Yeah, they'll be like,
it's raceways, idiot. Yeah.
How do you not know this?
And people can check out, where can people check out your stuff?
So Verified is still playing film festivals. It's playing the Final Girls Berlin Festival, which I'm like 1,000% sure is happening right now. I'm pretty sure it plays on Friday or Saturday. So please go support that festival. Check it out. Otherwise, Screaming the Blind Dead, It Knows You're Alone, Necropolis Legion, they're all on Full Moon streaming as well as Amazon Prime and Tubi. Girl the Straight Razor and Space Vampire are available for Blu-ray purchases through Amazon Prime and also Dark Side Releasing. I don't know where those are going to stream, but I know they're going to streaming. So they will be somewhere at some point. And then, going forward, I have a lot of scripts on the go. So I'm really looking I want to definitely jump in to do more directing this year. I just directed a feature film that is now in post-production hell. And I'm so bad at post-production that I'm other people deal with this. I don't want to do it anymore. But I do want to get a couple more things off the ground this year that I am fully behind the camera for, because I honestly love directing. I don't love it more than acting, because acting is my blood, but directing is definitely a pretty far second, and I cannot wait to do it again. And hopefully by the summertime, I should have a bunch of short films on the circuit again. Hopefully by Fantasia. That's if I put it out there and manifest it, it will happen.
Very cool. Awesome.
And then whatever Black Fawn film is next, I'm going to be in it. So
we'll have to mark that date on our calendar. Right?
Yeah. Exit off right now.
Go-karting, July 2022. Well, listen, Ali, thanks so much for joining us tonight. We've taken up way too much of your time, so thank you for donating it to us.
I have literally all the time. I set aside this entire night for you guys. We don't have to stop. Let's watch a movie.
You want to do a watch party right now? 5-hour podcast.
Watch that new Kristen Bell show on Netflix. The one with the aggressively long title, "The Women in the Window Across the Street from the Girl in the House," or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I love a
was
good
wondering-
Lifetime.
It was so funny. I heard the title of that show and I was like, that totally sounds like a National Lampoon like title for a
like a
movie.
spoof,
Or
and
yeah,
I'm
it sounds
like-
like a spoof movie. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And I'm sure it is, and I'm sure it's great, and she's great. And you know, if Netflix hears this, what's up?
Yeah,
I'm
we
available.
and
I'll pose more for you. Hello.
yeah. Well, listen, I just wanted to remind our audience that you can certainly follow Ali on Instagram, of course, at the Ali Chappell, or sorry, the Ali Chappell. Sorry,
Are you serious?
Sorry. You know why? It's because it's a mental thing, right? The Ali Chappell, along with Black Fawn Distro, which you can butcher our name. How about I throw it to you? What would you say Black Fawn Distro is mispronounced?
See, yours are all easy words.
Anyway,
it's okay. Literally, everyone has screwed up my name forever. Like, because Dave Chappelle was very famous, everyone's like, "Oh, your name's pronounced like his," and I'm like, "It's not. It's cool though."
Any thoughts of changing your name?
Only if it's something like really cool. Like, should I marry Vin Diesel? I feel like I would take his last name, like Ali Diesel. No, that doesn't work. You know what? If I'm going to change my last name, it has to be something like Cat or Baba. Nope, that doesn't work. That's weird. Alley oop. I just want it to be a thing. Like I want it. Oh, I will say, at some point this year, when I ever can figure out video editing, I will have a YouTube channel. That's why this whole setup is what it is. This is my like YouTube station, and it's going to be called the Unholy Chapel, which I'm very excited about. Yeah,
that will help me. If nothing else, it will just help my life.
Because a chapel, you know, place of worship. And obviously I'm not religious. I'm very unholy. So that became the name. Also, I didn't even think of that name. I did like a weird rap thing a couple years ago. And my friend came up with the name The Unholy Chapel to be my rap name, which I might bring back. I don't know. We'll see. Do you guys want to see some white girl rapping? Because I am mediocre at best.
Well, just to let everyone know out there, we just want to reiterate, we are doing a giveaway on this episode. So Ali is actually giving away a prize pack, which includes a comic book as well as a DVD of copy of Necropolis Legion. She's going to sign both those two things and drop them in the mail for you. What you have to do is you have to actually email us at takeover@blackfawndistribution.com and tell us what were the tiki mugs that Ali used throughout the program tonight. All of them. You just need to list what they are. No particular order. Just need to list them. We'll confirm that they're correct, and we'll get this prize pack out into the mail for you. But yes, make sure you follow Ali Chappell at the Ali Chappell on Instagram, and make sure you keep your eyes out for the Unholy Chapel, which is coming. Sorry, when did you say that was coming online?
Aiming for spring, because I truly do not know how to video edit, and that has been like my mission for the pandemic now is like I'm going to teach myself how to video edit, and it's going to be great.
Very cool. You don't want to do the live thing like we do. It's just too crazy.
Or I'll do it better.
Well, let's leave it there. Let's leave it there.
Yeah, we'll cut off on that note of me being like a real judgmental asshole. Let's do it.
But thanks so much for taking the time and sharing your thoughts about the film industry and all your projects that you're working on. We certainly wish you the best for sure. And thanks again to our audience. We had a great turnout tonight. Great conversation going on in the comments as well about women in film and go-karting and group chats and everything in between. So we do appreciate everyone tuning in. Thanks so much. We are broadcasting live to Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. And of course, we're retransmitting on all the major streaming platforms, including Apple Podcasts and Spotify. So wherever you get your favorite podcasts, make sure you check out ours. And if you feel like going the extra mile, if you want to leave us just a review on Apple Podcasts, it really does help us out and also helps promote the guests that we have on the program and the incredible projects that they're a part of as well. So until next time, we are having another guest coming on the program in a couple weeks, and we'll be announcing that soon. And we'll have some really cool things to talk about there as well. You're going to want to check out that episode for sure. And other than that, Ali, do you want to add anything before we go?
Maybe. No.
No. All right. Well,
thank you for having me. I had so much fun being here.
No problem. Sorry for mispronouncing your name like twice, and I'm sure I won't hear the end of that. I'm just going to call you Ali C from now on. I feel that's easy.
Oh my God. Yeah. Also, if I was ever a DJ, it'd be DJ Ali C.
Yeah. Ali C. Ali C.
DJ Ali C.
DJ Ali C at the Unholy Chapel, right?
Yeah. See that? Like, I should be a rap artist. I don't know why I'm not pursuing that career.
Yeah.
New poll. Should I do rap?
And then we'll have you back on the program, and we'll have a battle off.
That would. Yes. Also, if you can find it on the internet, I actually did a movie review where I rapped my entire review, and it's for Joseph Kahn's Bodied, which came out at Midnight Madness a couple years ago, but it's on the YouTube somewhere. In case you just want to see me do some rap videos for no fucking reason.
We should have made that. That should have been the contest. That should have been the requirement. Try and find that video.
Try and find that. Honestly, it's not hard. Go to like Horror Talk, which I guess is now Horror DNA. Go to them and they'll have it on their YouTube. Awesome. It's very stupid, and you're going to be like, oh my God, she is so white and she should not be rapping, or I should make an entire career out of it. Let me know in the comments.
Awesome. Well, on that note, let's leave it there. And again, thanks again, Ali. Thanks everyone for tuning in, and a big shout out to our sponsors, of course, Wellington Brewery's Hellas Lager, Deadly Grounds Coffee, the best coffee in Ontario. We've got this T-shirt as well.
From Wicked Cat Clothing. Everyone support them. It's a female-run business, and they're amazing.
And of course our T-shirt sponsor, Twisted Tees, awesome people that make all of our merchandise that you can pick up at the Black Fawn Distribution store online, and they make a lot of really cool horror tees and music tees as well. So check them out as well. So until next time, my name's Benner from Black Fawn Distro. I'm your host, and I'll see you in a couple of weeks. Ali, stick around after we go off the air. We'll just catch up, and we'll don't go anywhere. But for everyone else listening, we'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in. And that does it for another episode of Black Fawn Distro's Takeover Tuesday. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed tonight's episode, please remember to like, follow, share, and subscribe, and help us spread the word about the program and our incredible guests. If you're interested in grabbing some more information about Black Fawn Distribution, or want to check out our film titles and merchandise, you can find us online at blackfawndistribution.com. We'd also like to thank our sponsors, Wellington Brewery's Hellas Lager, Deadly Grounds Coffee, Twisted Tees, and of course, Black Fawn Distribution. Just a reminder, you can always catch Black Fawn Distro's Takeover Tuesday live on Facebook, YouTube, and our other social media platforms. Or pick up one of our retransmissions on any of the major streaming platforms. Until next time, I'm your host Benner from Black Fawn Distro, and we'll see you soon.